The conversation had already began, and that's when I decided to start recording. This was gold.
And the moment when she came there to Bliss, I was able to sense her presence, and it was visible on my forehead, like the moon sign. I shared the photo with Ivan also, like he was able to see a moon sign on the imprint, and it got captured in the photo. I saw it later, like the moment when I was realizing her presence, I was able to, like my body was also having some signs on my forehead and something like that. I did not share it with someone else there, and even my friend doesn't know that something like that was happening there. But this is something I kept reserved. Like I got to know the presence of their family goddess in their wedding, and that same thing happened yesterday in my wedding also, and I was able to get possessed by her, and she was speaking like this is not the right way to do the ritual, and that's why. And even I did not know that the sugar that was taken by my mother were already offered to some other god. So she later told me like, how did you get to know that this is something that has happened? Like I did not speak anything. It is something which was made to be spoken by me, like because of her presence in my life.
Now, were you conscious that, like, do you remember, like, saying all of that, or was it like you,
I
like...
remember a bit of it, like when I was breathing heavily. I remember that, and there was a thing like the moment when I got conscious about my body, she left my body, and there was memory which got recollected, and I, after a period of like 3-4 seconds, I got to know like this is all the things that I have spoken during that period. That's how it happened. Like she left the memory, but the energy, like during that period, I was not conscious like what I was doing.
Did they get new sugar?
Yeah, we got the new sugar, and that's how it happened.
So I've also read about this too, where you clear out your body, and so you basically remove your ego to a point where you create an empty vessel, which enables the gods or goddesses to inhabit the body and come into it. So I just got done reading about this in one of my books, which is based in India, and it's very interesting to hear, you know, you tell these stories. I've always looked up to Konic as kind of like my guru in ways, and he's got a lot of good stuff to teach and share with this world this time.
Konic, do you consider yourself a guru, or do you have any desire to be a guru?
I don't have a desire to be a guru, and I do believe that I am not capable of being guru for someone else. But there are many people who consider me as guru, but I would definitely decline that post because I am also growing spiritually, and there are many mistakes that I have also done, and I do realize that that I did not make someone else do that same mistake. So that's how it happens, like grow spiritually and make others also grow spiritually in their own way, and you can definitely guide them to a person who is better than you to be their guru rather than being a guru for someone else.
But it's always good to help each other along the way and be like spiritual brothers and and help the people around us that are on the same path. When you have these experiences with the entities coming into your body, is that an intention that you've had to clear out yourself in order for that to happen?
Whenever I was able to experience it, it happened naturally. Like I did not do anything. I was not aware of anything. It simply happened, and I got to realize it later that something like this was happening in my life.
Have you heard of that before it happened to you? Were you aware of that?
I have heard about it, and there are many people who do have this kind of thing happening in the body. Like my mother, like mother's mother, she died when she was very young. My mother was very young. She lost her mother, and many a times she is able to realize her presence into her body, and in many family occasions we also have that kind of thing going on in our home.
Wow. Do you find...
So I believe like it's kind of lineage of being able to have that kind of entity in your body which got transferred because of my mother.
Do you find that, so it's kind of like a genetic thing that gets passed down, and then you mentioned about locations. Do you find that it's location specific, or it can just happen anywhere, anytime?
Yeah, it can happen anywhere, anytime. but the entity which is entering in your body is also conscious, like what is an appropriate time to enter someone's body.
Yeah, because they know best.
Yeah.
And so we listen. And it reminds me of the story when we were doing Reiki class, the new Reiki that had channeled through me when I was in England, which is right after I first met Konic. I went to get my Reiki master in the UK, and I had met him days before that. It was shortly after when the next evolution of Reiki was channeling through myself, and I began channel writing all symbols. To keep the story short for this video, I'll explain it longer. It was years of working with the energies myself before it told me it was ready to share with the world. And that's in March of 2021 when I sat down and wrote the manual, probably still needs editing, and began to teach the first class. So both Ali and Konic were in that class along with one other person. So we seem to be some of the only people to have that higher frequency of Reiki as far as I know, but I'm not sure, I could never know. But I remember when we were doing the attunement, and I felt you in my body, which I didn't know it was you, but you said that's what your experience was. What I felt was some sort of really strong, powerful, like it felt like a root chakra, I think, and it just felt like this power I've never had before of focused energy. I don't know how to explain it, and it felt electrified. And what was your experience with that? And do you have any explanation for this? Because I don't know what was going on. I just know what I felt.
Like I'm also not sure about it, but there are many people who have done sadhanas with me or any kind of spiritual stuff with me. They do share this kind of thing, that they get similar visions which I am able to share during if I do sadhana with someone else. Might be because of some telepathic connection which my aura is able to connect with people who are doing something spiritual with me. And I told you about the moon sign. There is another sign of trident which occurs in a period like during full moon or during the fifth day. It also comes, and those symbols are something which kinds of give a reference to an entity which is around me. So, and this is something which was shared by my friend who comes to the temple on every Thursday with me, and he simply stays along me and copies whatever I do there. And he simply has a faith that whatever I am doing is right, so I need not think about anything else. He would simply copy me and do. And I was able to observe, like after a period of 3-4 months, he was able to have same symbols on his forehead.
Wow.
And his symbols are more clear than mine.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, also about the session where we were having a Reiki session with Ayush, and he was also able to have that same intuition. Like he was also not, he was not healing me, and he was not having any kind of experience of Reiki, but he was still able to have that kind of intuition of having that same universal light. And again, might be because he is into spirituality and already doing different kind of sadhanas, so might be he was able to have that kind of connection where something spiritual was going on.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that has to do with it. So he was in the room with us, and we were doing Reiki. Me and Ali were doing Reiki on Konic, and then Ayush was in the same room. Yeah, that was really cool, and to just see how everybody's connected. And when we get on those frequencies, it's like we attune our frequency to something. So by somebody following what you're doing, they're essentially aligning their frequency to that because of the practices. And I think that's a great way to learn, and that's how humans learn in general, I feel like, is to mimicking. So when we're a baby, we see what our older brother or sister's doing, and we kind of do that. And it can lead us to growth. And as long as we're mimicking somebody doing the right things, right? Just for the audience, you know, if somebody was just starting out, they have no idea what to do, where to start, but they maybe have this inner feeling inside, like a pulling towards, you know, I need to make some changes in my life, or I need to, I want to better myself, or anything like that. What would you tell everybody who has that kind of feeling, who's maybe a very beginner and doesn't know what to do?
There are 2 points which I would focus on. The first one is realize your existence. How can you realize your existence? By focusing on your breath in each and every point of your life. Be conscious of your existence. Many a time we forget ourselves, and that's how we kind of go back to our spiritual journey, to the point zero. If you want to advance further in your spiritual journey, be conscious of your existence, realize that you are life. And the second point that I would focus on is have compassion for life, not only your life but life in general. Each and every creature that you are able to observe or around you, if you are able to have compassion about it, you will definitely be able to know that there is something which we need to observe in this universe, which gets aligned in a way which is beyond our human understanding. But if we have compassion about human life, we will definitely be able to align ourselves with that kind of universal energy.
Wow, that was powerful. I hope you guys caught that. Yeah, I mean, I feel it. And what else could you really want or desire? I mean, when you have those two things, you feel that connection. Like, I feel it as you speak about it. Konic's a great teacher, and you also teach for a living. Is that right?
No, I don't teach. Like, I teach academically, not spiritual stuff.
Yeah, academics. But it's teaching.
Yeah, it's teaching. So I have my own coaching institute, and I do work in a school as a humanities faculty, and I enjoy my job teaching. But apart from it, on Saturdays and Sundays, I do take some spiritual classes about mantras, and I do teach meditation, and I do some guided sessions, which kind of help people to grow spiritually. And I do go to various temples with various other people as per their sadhanas to guide them to the ritual that they would be doing in the temple. So that's a kind of family I have around me of spiritual brothers and spiritual sisters, and that's how I am also growing with this kind of connection around me.
Do you believe that it's because of past lives and the work that you've done that got you here, maybe reincarnated in India or in this family?
The moment when I met my guru, there were many questions which were asked to me, and I was able to answer them without even reading them, without even experiencing them in this present life. And that's how I got to know that past life has an influence on our present life. And I was able to realize that there are many things around us for which we have no answers in this present life, and there is something which goes beyond this present life, which can definitely give answers to those mysteries which we are having in this current life. So yeah, past life has a role as far as my experience is concerned. And it's not possible that so many spiritual people around me are able to have that kind of connection, and I am able to have that kind of connection with them. It's simply because some kind of energy transfer got happened in the course of different lifetimes, over a period of lifetimes, and that's how it is again rearranging itself and is going to rearrange itself in coming lifetimes.
I agree. I feel the same way, and I've had some glimpses of past lives as well, but they were very ancient. And there's a lot of more unknown than known for me, that's for sure. Tip of the iceberg. So Konic's got me started on fasting a couple of years ago, and we fast on the 5th day of the lunar cycle, and I've gotten down to just water. Konic's much better at fasting than myself and can go up to 3 days with no food and water while sitting in a dark room doing spiritual practices and meditation for 3 days in a row.
And I can go for 9 days just on water and not eating anything. That is also a thing which I have done.
Wow. So I have some days to work up to. But what would you say is the benefits of fasting, and why do we do this, and then why do we do it on the 5th day of the lunar cycle?
Okay, so basically there are different days, and each and every day is significant for different kind of energies. The 5th day of the moon cycle is kind of related with knowledge and wisdom, and the only thing which kinds of separates us from our existence from other creatures is our knowledge, right? And knowledge is the essence of human life, and if you have that kind of knowledge, you can grow spiritually. And this particular day, if you fast, First of all, let's understand what a fast does to our spiritual progress. The moment when you eat something, you kind of invest your energy in making that food as a part of your body. And the moment when you start fasting, you abstain yourself from that kind of energy transaction that is happening with the food that you are eating, right? And again, you are not investing yourself into the physical body, and you are able to focus your energy on different levels of body like astral, ethereal, and karmic body. And that kind of investment basically I am using a very rough language of energy transaction, energy investment, but that's how it happens. Like the energy that you invest on different bodies apart from your physical body helps in manifesting your spiritual goal. And that's how, when you do it on the fifth day, you are able to attract spiritual knowledge. And many goddesses, many gods on that particular day who are active are related with knowledge. One of them is Goddess Saraswati. She is considered to be the boon giver for the wisdom and knowledge that we have. And yeah.
Yes, I've noticed that too. Sometimes when I'm fasting on the fifth day, I feel like a pressure in my third eye, and I feel like I am more connected spiritually and through the knowledge and seeing without the eyes, right? And the second mantra that we do, that Konic's given to me, is for Saraswati, and so we definitely offer the malas to her, right? And receive gifts in return in ways, right? Gifts of knowledge and creativity can really increase our own energies in those realms. I feel like that may be like second and fifth chakra. So yeah, it's a really amazing process. Yeah, I really appreciate you sitting down with us and speaking with us today. I think I've always looked up to your wisdom and knowledge. I feel like you can help a lot of people this life on this earth, and you are. And we're very grateful. We've gone over a little bit about the fast. So yesterday we went to go see your guru. Can you explain to us a little bit about how you came to be a disciple of this guru and what that was like for you and what your experience was like?
Yeah, basically, I am born in a Jain family, and my guru is not just my guru. It's like the entire family follows that guru, and I was taken to that guru when I was very young. And the kind of meditation camps that he organizes is very much intense, and happens for a duration of 4 days, 10 days, and even for months. And all the spiritual practitioners who come there, they kind of keep silent in their entire spiritual process. They don't speak anything, and they constantly meditate for 2 hours session, like 2 hours session then break, 2 hours session then break, and that happens for minimum of 4 days. And that's how the spiritual progress goes. And spiritual teachings are also being conducted during those camps. And within that period of time, when I was taken to my guru, I was asked many questions which I was able to answer, and he got to realize that I'm having a kind of spiritual inclination, and I do have some kind of spiritual connect due to my past life. And I was 13 years old then. And during that period of time, only people of 16 years of age were allowed to do that sadhana. But I was allowed to do that sadhana 3 years prior, and I was taken into that meditation camp. And after going to that entire sadhana, and I was having that kind of spiritual benefit that my guru blessed me with, and I definitely decided that I want to literally offer my entire life to the teaching of this guru, like, because that's how I see my spiritual progress, and that's how I am able to visualize myself getting liberated through this path which my guru has directed or guided me towards. And that's how it happened. And there are many other stories which happened because of getting receptive and sensitive for energy during because of this kind of spiritual practice. I was able to do many other sadhanas, and that's something basic which I got from my guru. And without that base, no foundation, like without that foundation, nothing could have been created which I have now.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Can you explain to everybody, what does it mean to become liberated, and what would that feel like?
If you're able to feel something, then you are not liberated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So-
Fine.
okay, so no feeling.
No
Yeah.
feelings. So basically, feelings kind of bound you to your physical body. Fine. I would rather use the word bliss. If you're blissful, you're not feeling something, you're experiencing something. Right? And that experience is not leading you to some kind of bondage or something. The moment when you meditate, the when you open your eyes, you are able to kind of feel blissful. You are able to feel joyful, and it did not happen because anything else that you did. Like you did not eat ice cream, you did not eat good food to feel that kind of bliss. You simply opened your eyes, and something from your within was giving you bliss. That's what liberation is. Like you are able to be independent for your mental state. You are able to be independent for your joy, and you don't need to rely on something or someone else for your joy. And later on, what happens is when we kind of elaborate it further, we have been bound in this universe from various lifetimes, from eternal. Like our existence is in itself is eternal. There is no beginning. Obviously there is no beginning, but the end is in our hand. If we are able to shed all our bodies and being the soul, an independent soul which merges into the energy of universe, we are liberated. And we did not like we do not need to get reincarnated, we do not need to get born again and again have a messed up life that we as humans are facing. So that's the idea of liberation. But yeah, liberation does not need to be a spiritual or religious thing which you visualize for different lifetimes. You can have that kind of liberation in even in your moment of existence, when you are able to be conscious of your existence and nothing that is happening outside your body is able to influence your mental state. That is liberation.
Yeah, so becoming one with everything, with the energy which is the universe. And so when a soul becomes liberated, we know now and that they don't need to be reincarnated. We don't need to go through the suffering, which, hey, I've had plenty of that this life. It was fun. I wouldn't mind giving that up. So when we become liberated, is there a choice then to go into another existence, would you say, or another universe and have new experiences, or do we just remain in that one?
Liberation basically happens after enlightenment. Right? So that's the key of attracting knowledge on that particular fifth way. The more knowledge that you attract towards yourself, more likely you are to get enlightened. The moment when you get enlightened, you know everything about your existence. You know the eternal journey you have had been and through. And the moment when you have more joy in your life, you kind of forget those spiritual practices. And the moment when you have more sorrows in your life, you get inclined towards spirituality, that I want to attract joy and abundance. That's how we have been doing in our eternal journey. Like we have been doing all those good deeds simply to attract abundance, wealth, health in our life, with an intention to get better results because of our good deeds. So, yeah, we do get enlightened before getting liberated. And if you know everything, and you know that getting liberated is the best thing that you can have, then obviously no one would choose to get reincarnated. Fine. So liberation basically means losing all your bodies, including the physical body. And enlightenment basically happens when you are physically present in this world and you are enlightened and you know everything about every soul on this universe.
Wow. Seems like a lot to take on, but since essentially we are that energy and we are the one mind, it isn't too much, because much like how Google is taking store of everything on their data servers, there's that in the universe.
The moment when you realize that there is nothing left for you to experience, like there are many scriptures, there are many like experiences of many meditators who say that there is no even like there is not a single point in this universe where you have not got born, uh, got birth, and there is no single point in this universe where you have not died. Like for in each and every point you have died millions of times, and in each and every point you have died, like you have got birth millions of times, and just visualize the pain of getting birth. Like death obviously is painful experience, but the later we do have this kind of poetic explanation that death kinds of relieves you from all the misery of life. But death and birth, both of them are the biggest misery and sorrow that we have as an existence, as a life, or as a life force. So every time you get birth, you are again getting to the point zero. Every time you are dying, you are kind of having a baggage of karmas and taking it to the next life. So it's a cyclical thing happening again and again. And once you get enlightened and you know that it has been happening from the time, like, which has no beginning, but I can definitely design the end for it. And you, when you get the opportunity to design the end, then why would you lose it and like simply choose to get
Go
reincarnated?
back, yeah. Oh, the cycle of samsara. Yeah. Maybe we'll get off that wheel one day. Where do you feel like you are at in this, I guess you can call it a progression or journey?
I'm not sure about that because yeah, but I simply rely on my guru, like whatever path that he shows, whatever practices that he kinds of uh, guides me towards. I simply follow that path, and I simply try to be consistent for my spiritual practices. I don't know if I am progress. Like obviously, there is a kind of progress that I am able to experience, but I don't know, or I cannot quantify my progress. But I simply know that if I am consistent, I would reach that point someday. So I simply make it a point that I need to be consistent, and that's how I kind of ensure my progress in spiritual path.
And the food is ready, and we will go eat soon. But this is food as well. What we're getting right now.
Yeah.
So this is
Food for the soul.
Yes. And I hope you guys are enjoying this too and learning something. This is what I'm here for, to help everyone involved. And that is myself as well, so I'm learning too here. And we're all on this path together, whether we know it or not. That's my belief. And all different stages of growth. Like maybe the seed doesn't know it is a flower. But one day it grows and it has leaves, and then it has buds, and then eventually one day it has a beautiful fragrance. And so all the stages are necessary. And like you said, millions of deaths and births in each point in the universe, which is a lot to think about. But since there's no time is not really real, there's infinite amount of time. You can imagine 1 million isn't maybe so much compared to infinity. And so you just got married.
Yeah.
That's different in India than in America where I live, and maybe around the world they have different traditions and customs and cultures. I found this to be a very very amazing experience from my point of view, never being to India, never seeing an Indian wedding. Does this play into spirituality, or can you link into the conversation of maybe part of the choosing of a bride to support your spiritual practices? And does this help you? Is it part of your customs and traditions?
Yeah, basically, Indian tradition itself is revolving around spirituality, and there is no doubt that even the
We were talking a little bit about your wedding and what that means in your tradition and culture, and also linking it in with spirituality.
So, Indian tradition obviously is something which revolves around spirituality, and there is no doubt that wedding also has a connection with spirituality. Like the entire reason why we are getting birth and death many times in this like course of lifetimes is because we have attachments, and the key element which I believe that we have attachment for is because of our relationships that we have in this lifetime. And wedding, obviously, choosing a life partner is one of the major thing which allows you to have like elaborated attachments with your family members. But if you have that attachment at the right place which allows you to grow spiritually, then it can definitely be a life changing experience for you. that's how Indian rituals are. Like we have each and everything designated in a way that we are kind of arranging our energies in a way that allows us to grow spiritually. We offer our rituals to family gods like the ancestral lineage. We also offer our rituals to various other demigods and liberated souls in this course of time which you experienced, like 4 to 5 days. We had various ceremonies, and each and everything was designed in such a way that for this lifetime, everything that we do kind of gives us a path or medium to grow spiritually in different lifetimes that we are about to have together, or in different universes. Like it's not designated that you would get the same life partner. Obviously, it's a poetic thing that I want you as my life partner for different lifetimes, and I want to live with you forever. So forever obviously is a thing for the soul, but not for the body, because body is about to rot, body is about to decay, body is about to die at the end, but something which would remain is soul. So all the rituals that we did obviously were designed to get that spiritual centric idea of not having that kind of bondages in various lifetimes, and thus just designing our course of attachment in a way that we are able to progress spiritually.
Yeah, and so the selection is very important in
Yeah.
Indian tradition. And I notice that's very different in America, where we kind of meet each other. Sometimes we feel like it's fate or by chance or luck or the universe bringing us together. And then we select a partner ourselves. So here it's much different. There are options of like arranged marriage, and the families put a lot of time and effort into selecting the mate. Can you explain a little bit about that process?
Yeah, basically, we do have an influence of Western culture too. Currently, like major of the youth, they are opting for love marriages. But again, they tell it to their parents that this is the groom or this is the bride I have selected for myself, and that's how the family gets involved and arranges the marriage. And if it is an arranged marriage, the family from the bride side or the groom side, they arrange a meeting between the bride and groom, and they meet, and they kind of have a conversation, and they kind of meet for various times in the duration of 1 month or 2 months, and then they later on decide that they if they want to continue with that same partner for a period of like for the entire remaining life. For me, it was just for an hour. Like I met my wife for an hour, and at the end of an hour, I decided that I want this person with me for the entire life, and that was similar to her, as if we knew that we are made for each other and we can continue this conversation for the rest of our lifetime. We were
Wow.
very sure about it, and that's how it happened.
So just so you guys, if you heard that, he said 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
So, so we have something called minute dating, I think, in America, but it doesn't really. It's probably the wrong intentions. Doesn't really, not really relatable, but that's pretty amazing to me. So your souls obviously at that point know and recognize each other, and within that hour, how do your parents find these people? There's millions of people in India, and let alone what she's in the same city.
Yeah, apart from having a very complex family structure, we do have a very complex social structure too. Like people are related with a very long, elaborated family chain. We do have relatives who kind of give a reference to a family. Like there is unmarried girl or unmarried boy. You can they belong to a same age group. They can definitely be good partners for each other. You should talk with that family, and that's how it happens.
Wow.
But currently we do have those marriage agents and marriage bureaus, which again is has been started as a business with an influence of Western culture, which was not a thing earlier. Earlier it was only like priests and family relatives who used to like kind of give reference to the families.
Wow. Yeah, I've got to witness a lot of the rituals, which seem very powerful. I don't fully understand them, but even right now, Konic has rice in his hair, and that was from this morning, right? Which I think it looks good, by the way. and there's some rice here. And so in America we throw rice too. We'll wrap it up here shortly as the food is ready. They've been feeding us a lot, and it's just abundance of food. It's great. So the rice means something totally different. I'm not even sure if we have too much significance in America, but here there's a significance to everything that's done. I noticed like the haldi, I think it was called, and the turmeric ritual, all the different parts of the wedding, which you guys will see in some of my footage. They all have meanings, and overall, from what I'm gathering, as you said, it's all basically for spiritual growth in the long run. And these connections, in India, marriage is meant to last a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or even beyond. Yeah. And so in America, we have a high divorce rate. Here, the divorce rate is about 1% or so. And so a lot of the couples stay together. Do you find that here it's less about physical attraction and more about spiritual attraction, or does it kind of all go together?
Yeah, I think everything is made into point for here. Like apart from physical attraction, we do focus on the family with which we have to spend the entire life, because it's not just bride and the groom spending their life. We do have a very close-knit family structure, and we have to spend our entire life with the family as well. So will that family be tolerable family for us? That's also something we keep in mind while choosing our bride or groom. And not just physical attraction. Yeah, there are many other points. Spiritual growth is also a thing which we think about if the person is spiritually inclined.
Are children like a key factor here? Are all couples encouraged to have children and to grow the family, or are there some couples that they don't want kids?
Again, children are considered to be a very good thing to have in Indian culture, to like kind of elaborate the lineage of family and make the family structure more complex. Fine, but yeah, currently the birth rate has lowered down in India. Earlier it was like having 5 to 6 children.
Wow.
Now it is like 2 children at most, and there are many couples who only have one child. That is kind of acceptable due to the urbanization and modernization that India is witnessing now. And there are many couples who don't even have children, and that's okay for them. And yeah, it's not a very strict or rigid thing now. But in the rural areas, you will find that couples are literally, they are forced to have, you should have children. They are encouraged to have children.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm really happy for you, for your marriage. And it seems like a great bride was selected in merging the families. I've got a chance to meet a little bit on both sides, even though I can't understand the language a lot of times. I can feel the vibrations and the frequencies of the heart, and it's very warm and open and hospitable, and we've been welcomed as, essentially it feels like we're extended members of the family. That's what it feels like to me, at least. And as we've been invited in and fed all this food and offered all these experiences and being part of it, and the rituals that I don't fully understand, but I'm doing and happy to be a part of. And we got to dance on stage at your wedding. Thank you for having us do that. That was absolute awesome, amazing time. I guess we should wrap up this interview here now. Let's see, Ali, do you have any questions or?
No.
Okay. So closing thoughts.
I'm very grateful that you came to my wedding, and I'm very grateful that you were here. And yeah, you are the part of my family now.
We've gotten that offer. I think I have an Indian mom now. I can't understand what she's saying, but it's funny. It's always funny. And yeah, we'll keep updating you guys later. This has been one of many short drops of knowledge you can expect from the channel. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you guys next time.